Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we have some very exciting Bad Batch updates, but we start with Star Wars Outlaws. If there is one thing that is known amongst the scoundrels and bounty hunters of the galaxy's underbelly, it's that reputation is everything. And this crucial aspect of the job is something that the Star Wars Outlaws creators have kept in mind when making the game. The biggest game of 2024 is going to tell a tight story across specific locations with strong, thriving underworlds. But decisions you make in the game affect your reputation, even though the ending is the same. Your experience with various syndicates and other characters, whether you're going to be working with them or running from them, depends on how you act as a scoundrel. The creative director of Ubisoft said this: "You live and die by your reputation," meaning that Kay, which is Kay Vess, the main character, will have to navigate the underworld and make choices that impact her own reputation, so your reputation as the player. Gaining notoriety or infamy is up to you, and that's going to make it a very fun, customizable experience. But as I say, they are not going full on Quantic Dream. It isn't a situation where the ending changes, just on a smaller scale throughout the game. And it kind of reminds me of the Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian Season 2's ending. Boba Fett's reputation when he was alive being so feared, being a ruthless bounty hunter who worked for the Empire, meant that when he escaped the Sarlacc and rumours started emerging of his return, it was something of a legend, almost unbelievable. He was so terrifying when he was alive. The idea to many that he could return struck fear in the heart of the likes of Bib Fortuna. As you can see, whether you're a scoundrel, a smuggler, a bounty hunter, reputation was absolutely everything. And in the case of this new character Kay Vess, her destiny, how she is perceived, and her relationship with the likes of the Hutts, because Jabba is in this game, the Pike Syndicate, is in your hands as the player. So that is the kind of territory we're dealing with this game. Really exciting stuff. Okay, so moving on to our main topic of the day. We are getting ever closer to the Bad Batch Season 3, and today we have a bit of news. Michelle Ang, who voices Omega in the Bad Batch, has teased something pretty sinister. Replying to a Star Wars fan who is begging and hoping Omega doesn't meet her end, Michelle said this: "All I can say is I'd be ready for some emotions, capital E." Now looking at this with some optimism and a bit of cope, you might say she could be referring to any emotions, but no, we know what she means. I've been saying that I don't necessarily think Omega is gonna die, but it sounds like someone might. I wonder who she might be talking about. Now while we're on this subject, there is one clone who was not in the Season 3 trailer that I keep seeing fans discuss. Commander Cody. Just like Asajj Ventress, who Dave Filoni nearly brought back in Star Wars Resistance, everyone's favourite cowboy hat wearing creator similarly had many plans to continue the story of Cody for years. And while Season 2 gave us something of a sigh of relief, 6 years ago, Cody was almost made into a reprogrammed Imperial killer later in the timeline. And given we're about to see more clone assassins and allegiant brainwashed troopers who've been moulded on Wayland, we might be in for a dark twist if the Empire got their hands on Cody after he went AWOL in Season 2. More on this in just a bit, but first things first. The Bad Batch has done a great job in continuing the legacy of clones. Captain Rex, Cutler Quain, Gregor, Wolf in Season 3, but one character I constantly see mentioned is Commander Cody, once a close friend to Obi-Wan and Captain Rex. Following the events of Order 66, Cody assisted the Empire with the enslavement of the Wookiee world of Kashyyyk. This was never shown on screen, but is still part of Star Wars canon. And then, as we saw in the Bad Batch Season 2, he assisted with the mission to Desix. Uniting with Crosshair, the two were part of the Imperial mission to secure the Separatist holdout world. In a very emotional sequence, when Grotton ordered Tawny Ames, the acting governor of the world, to be executed, Crosshair complied, whereas Cody questioned whether or not the Empire's actions were truly meant to establish peace. Just like many other clones, Cody's inhibitor chip had worn off, so following the return to Coruscant, Cody revealed his doubts to Crosshair, and then abandoned the Empire entirely. There was some speculation that Rampart had Cody killed, but I don't think that's what the creators of the Bad Batch were implying. I think Cody literally went into exile. Season 3 has the opportunity to tell us what happened next. Did he join Rex and Clone Force 99, recruiting other defected clones, and maybe taking part in an upcoming uprising? A theory I put forward last year. is that Cody went to find Obi-Wan, setting up a second season of the Kenobi show, whereby Cody looks for hints to reunite with his old friend, who is exiled on Tatooine. If this is what's in the plan, then there is a strong possibility we don't see Cody at all in Season 3. Commander Cody was endeared to viewers by the Clone Wars series and Revenge of the Sith, which naturally made his betrayal of Obi-Wan pretty heartbreaking. What has gotten a lot of fans curious is the fact Cody is nowhere to be seen in the new Season 3 trailer, and considering they gave us some pretty massive characters like Asajj Ventress, and even teased Omega's escape, given its clone-centric premise, it's a bit of a mystery why Cody was not even featured once. It might become an important question in the context of Season 3. Maybe towards the end, they answer the question of what happened to him next. Now, did you know over the last decade, Dave Filoni has had many ideas as to what to do with Commander Cody? By the time of Star Wars Rebels, fans were wondering, well, where is he? He must be dead by this point. But Filoni nearly did bring Cody into Rebels, but not as a good guy who survived on Sealos with Rex, Gregor, and Wolf, but rather as a villain. It was Henry Gilroy, writer on Star Wars Rebels, who revealed this in 2018 at DragonCon. He said the storyline centered around Grand Admiral Thrawn figuring out the Ghost Crew was working with clones. At this point, to throw them off, Thrawn would have brought in Commander Cody to help research and track them down, while also reminding the clones of the dark fate of some of their brothers, many of whom were killed off, used for experimentation, forced servitude to the Empire. While it may have been an interesting concept, it would have been absolutely devastating to see Cody return to the franchise in a very different light. And part of the reason it was scrapped is because Filoni and Gilroy knew how much Cody meant to fans. One of the most important clone troopers in the entire franchise, with one of the most memorable legacies. But now that Commander Cody has stepped away on his own terms, I can see two possibilities. Either the Empire successfully recaptured him, and maybe he's a prisoner on Mount Tantis with Crosshair, or Captain Rex gets in touch with him, and he is part of the rescue mission. I do believe they need to give some serious thought about how to bring him back, because if they do, within the framework of Season 3, he's probably going to die by the end. With a lot of these characters, they do want to give us a very conclusive closing of the book, a final chapter, going out with a bang. We know based on the final episode's title it's probably going to be an all-out uprising, a fight against the Imperial forces that be. But I want to know your opinion on this. How should they handle Commander Cody's continued story? Should they touch it at all in the Bad Batch? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys, of everything we spoke about. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and also why not check out the various Bad Batch videos I've posted over the last week. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. May the Force be with you, always.